Okay, so if you've ever tried to pick an AI voice platform, you already know the pricing can feel like a total maze, right? You've got subscription fees, you've got per minute rates, and then there are all these hidden costs that can pop up. Well, today we are going to cut right through all that noise. We're putting two of the big players, Blend AI and SuperMIA, head to head to figure out what the real cost actually is. Let's dive in.
This is really the million-dollar question for any founder or operations leader out there. A super low per-minute rate on a pricing page can be so misleading. And it turns out, one of these platforms has a pricing model that can catch you completely by surprise, especially when you're just getting started. So, which one is it?
All right, let's step into what I like to call the AI pricing maze. You see, the confusion here isn't just about the cost per minute, it's about the entire pricing model. And trust me, understanding that model is the key to avoiding a huge, nasty surprise on your bill at the end of the month.
So, let's break down the two main ways these companies think about pricing. On one hand, you've got Blend AI. They use a subscription plus usage model. Think of it like a gym membership. You pay a fee every month just to have access, and then you pay for every single minute you actually use. On the other side is SuperMIA. They have an all-inclusive credit pool. You buy a plan and it comes with a big bucket of credits you can use for both voice and chat. They're two totally different philosophies.
Now look, to be fair, Blend's model was actually designed to solve a very real problem. Some of the early AI voice platforms had ridiculously unpredictable pricing. So Blend came in and aimed to fix that with a clear subscription fee. But in solving that one problem, they kinda accidentally created a brand new one.
And this quote really sums it up perfectly. They made pricing more predictable than the guys who came before them, which, teams loved. But that predictability came with a hidden trade-off, a cost that was baked right into the model itself.
And here it is. This is the catch. This is the one thing you have to understand. That monthly subscription fee from Blend, it's purely for platform access. It doesn't buy you a single minute of call time. Not one. You pay that fee, and only then does the per-minute meter even start running. This one little detail completely changes the math, especially for smaller businesses.
Okay, enough theory. The only way to really see how this plays out is to actually run the numbers. So let's look at three super common scenarios. A small startup, a company that's starting to grow, and a big enterprise, just to see how these models really stack up in the real world.
All right, let's start small. Imagine you're a startup, or maybe a small business, just dipping your toes into AI voice agents. You're using about 1,000 minutes a month. This is a very common place to start.
And just look at the impact of that subscription fee. At 1,000 minutes, SuperMIA costs you $114. Blend AI? A whopping $419. So what's happening here? Well, Blend's fixed subscription fee makes up almost the entire cost, which means their effective per-minute rate is sky-high at this scale.
To put a number on it, SuperMIA is 73% cheaper in this scenario. And the reason is super simple. Blend's big subscription fee is being spread over just a tiny number of minutes. That access fee is like a heavy anchor when your usage is low, and it just completely swallows up any benefit from the per-minute rate.
Okay, let's move on to our next scenario and see what happens. Now you're a growing business. Your usage has scaled up. You're at 10,000 minutes per month. The whole dynamic should start to shift here.
And just as we thought, the gap has gotten a lot smaller. Blend AI comes in at about $1,600, while SuperMIA is at $1,300. So SuperMIA still has the edge, but it's not nearly as dramatic as what we saw at the lower volume.
So the really crucial point here isn't just the 19% savings. It's the hidden value. That $1,300 for SuperMIA also includes credits you can use for chat agents. With Blend, you'd have to go out and pay for a completely separate platform for chat, which would push your actual total cost way higher.
Now for the big one, enterprise scale. We're talking 100,000 minutes a month. At this kind of volume, the per-minute price becomes the main thing you look at, and that subscription fee becomes way less important. This is where it gets really interesting.
And would you look at that, the tables have completely turned. For a purely voice-only operation at this massive scale, Blend AI actually comes out ahead. We're estimating around $7,500 a month compared to SuperMIA's $8,500. This is exactly where Blend's model, with its lower per-minute rates at high volume, really starts to shine.
So just to be crystal clear and fair here, Blend can be about 13% cheaper if, and this is a really big if, your workload is 100% voice and you're operating at enterprise scale.
But the second you need to add a chat platform into the mix, that cost advantage just vanishes, and the total cost likely flips right back in SuperMIA's favor.
You know, cost is really only half the story. The price tag doesn't tell you what a platform is actually built for or who it's really designed to help. So let's move on from the numbers and take a look at the features and the core strengths of each of these platforms.
This table really makes the different philosophies crystal clear. Bland AI is built for developers. It's voice first, gives you deep API control, and even lets you bring your own Twilio contract to the party. SuperMIA, on the other hand, is really geared towards business and operations teams. It gives you more channels right out of the box, like chat, and it bundles things like telephony and compliance, which just makes it way simpler to get up and running.
And you can see this reflected perfectly in the user reviews. Developers absolutely rave about Bland's API. This review here highlights its strength for technical teams that want to build these complex, high-volume outbound campaigns really fast and with total control. That is their sweet spot for sure.
But then, on the flip side, you get feedback like this. This user points out the exact pain point that we just analyzed. When your usage suddenly spikes, that subscription plus usage model can lead to some serious sticker shock. It really just hammers home how critical it is to forecast your usage perfectly on their platform.
So we've looked at the math, we've looked at the features. Now let's put it all together into a simple, actionable framework. This is designed to help you decide which platform truly aligns with what you and your business actually need.
You should really be leaning towards Bland AI if you're checking off these boxes. If you're a high-volume, voice-only operation, you have a strong engineering team that wants to fine-tune costs at a huge scale and control every little detail through an API, then yeah, Bland is probably the right technical and financial choice for you.
On the other hand, SuperMIA is going to be the better fit if you need an all-in-one platform that handles both voice and chat. If your volume is still growing, or if you absolutely need predictable billing where your minutes are included from the start, this model is literally designed for you. And if bundled compliance is a non-negotiable, that's a huge strength of their entire offering. So ultimately, the decision really boils down to this one question. It's not about which platform is better, it's about which pricing model and which set of features best fits your business's scale, your technical resources, and your strategy. Are you optimizing for pure, raw, voice-only cost at a massive scale? Or do you need the simplicity and bundled value of an all-in-one solution? Your answer to that question will tell you exactly which path you should take.